Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a glimpse of what my life looks like, a day in my life, as a 9-month pregnant woman living in Toronto. To begin, here is a preview of today's vlog. So I started out this day helping my husband out with laundry just by sorting it out for him, but he did it on his own. I then moved on to reading my Bible, which is an activity that I do try to do at least once a day in a combination with prayer. I am a Christian, so yeah, this just helps me stay centered and stay close to the Lord. All right, moving on to the kitchen. Here you see me pouring into a glass jug water that I had boiled the night before. It is safe to drink tap water in Toronto. I just like to be bougie and boil mine just because. Makes me feel better. And then I am moving on to making some coffee. I do purchase whole bean coffee and I use a coffee grinder or spice grinder, either or does the trick, to grind the beans. And then in the past I used to use a French press to make my coffee. Now I use a mocha pod. I'm just putting enough coffee in the grinder for my husband and I. Once it's grinded up, I add it to the correct compartment in the mocha pot and I close it up and I put it on the stove. Now I am taking out the mixture or the batter that I had made the previous day so that I could make Congolese donuts during the week. So because it's just for my husband and I that I'm making this, the mixture will last us the whole week actually. So I did use this actually every morning that week to make donuts for us. And if you're curious about how I made the donut mixture, let me know in the comment section and I can give you the recipe. In this mixture I did put ginger. It is a common thing in Congolese culture to put ginger in our donuts, but there are so many different ways that you can make donuts in Congolese culture, so this is just one of many. And in Lingala, which is one of the main languages spoken in the Democratic Republic of Congo, we call these donuts mikate. All right, here is our coffee for the morning. There I showed you a bowl filled with water, which I'm going to be using to help make the donuts. I'll be wetting my hands each time, and then with my wet hands scooping some of the donut mixture to be able to then drop it into the hot oil. This prevents the mixture from getting too sticky in my hands, actually. Here is a close-up of what it looks like inside the hot oil. Right, and I do have to make sure to always turn the donuts on each side, I would say at least twice, so that they can come out nice and golden brown like you see it here. And I do use a perforated spoon, if you will, to then scoop them up and put them inside the dish that you see on the side of the stove. And here it is. Here's the finished product. All right, after having given my husband his share, here I am just saying a word of thanks to God before eating my own food. I had donuts, coffee with milk, as well as an orange on this morning. Moving on, my husband had finished doing laundry, so he just asked for my help in hanging it up so that it can dry. We don't put the laundry in our building's drying machine just because it requires money, and well, we don't want to do that. Moving on, here I am making the bed. Also, if you're curious as to why my husband and I did not have breakfast together at the dining room table, because we do have one, it's just because his schedule right now consists of having school in the morning. So he is doing school in the morning and he's going to work from the afternoon to nighttime. And so, yeah, our time together is a bit limited, and that's why we were eating separately. Okay, after making the bed, I do move on to starting to get myself ready just for the day. Here I'm brushing my teeth. Then I jump in the shower and I take my shower. Before leaving, I do take a moment to have lunch, just because normally by this time, it's only been a few hours, but normally by early afternoon I'm hungry again. Keep in mind I am pregnant, but I think even if I wasn't pregnant, I would probably still be a bit hungry. So I'm just eating before heading out so that I don't have to spend money while outside. What you just saw me open up there is what we call kwanga. I do explain what kwanga is in a previous video that I made on grocery shopping in Toronto, so make sure that you check that out and you'll get that explanation there. Okay, moving on to enjoying my food. By this point, my husband has already left for work, so I am home alone. And in addition to eating kwanga, which is a cassava-based food item, I'm also having a vegetable dish called fungwa, as well as a pork chop. Now I am in our car. You will notice, if you pay attention, that in the background we already have the baby's car seat installed. And what you're seeing me doing here is just heading to my medical appointment. Because I am in my 3rd trimester, I have weekly meetings with my obstetrician, and so today was the day when I had to go do that. Alright, I've made it to the appointment. Just checking that I look okay after sweating a little bit to get there. It is super hot in Toronto. Those of you who live in the city or in the southern part of Ontario will know exactly what I mean. It is just so hot. Okay, here's a glimpse of the hospital room where I was waiting for the obstetrician. And once my appointment was done, I made my way outside, first to the parking lot where I parked my car, and then once I get there and I get in the car, to the house. Here's a glimpse of downtown Toronto for you. This is just to give you a glimpse of my outfit for that day and show you how big my stomach was. And this is some of the resources that I got at the hospital that day. Okay, when I made it back home on that day, it was probably mid to late afternoon, early evening. And I was just thinking about what to eat, but I just wanted to eat something light, so I decided to make myself some oatmeal with some bread and some tea, and that is what you see me preparing here. Just grabbing some milk from the fridge because I like my oatmeal to be creamy. I also grabbed some butter. And here you see me holding some blueberry jam. You might find it quite odd that I'm pouring milk out of a bag, but in Canada, when you buy 3-liter milk, it comes basically in one big bag that contains 3 smaller bags. I believe each smaller bag is 1 liter, and it looks like what you just saw me pouring out of the jug earlier. Here I am moving on to making myself some bread. I only took half of a bun on this day because I wasn't super hungry, and these buns are actually Kaiser buns. Okay, I did cut it in half. I cut the half in half and I did put it each half in the toaster so that it could get nice and toasted for me. After having made my bread, my oatmeal was also ready. I made it in the microwave. I don't know if you all got to see that, but yes, my oatmeal was ready and my tea was also ready. Tea with milk, no sugar. And so here I am sitting down, enjoying my light evening meal. Oh, if you're wondering what jersey I'm wearing, I'm actually wearing Senegal's jersey. This is my husband's jersey, but I have a similar jersey of my own too. It's just that mine was dirty. So I wore his. My husband is Senegalese. So, yeah. Okay, after eating and resting for a bit, I do move on to doing the dishes. For the past several months, actually, my husband has been doing the dishes all on his own. He has been so helpful in that sense. But now that he has started work and that it is combined with school, yeah, it's just become a bit challenging for him. He did still do the dishes, I think, the first few days of work, but on this day, I just decided to be helpful and do it for him. And I did do the dishes for him on the subsequent days that followed. But now, actually, his mom, my mother-in-law, has joined us, and so she has been taking care of doing the dishes for us. Yeah, I will say that doing housework when you're pregnant and the farther along you are in your pregnancy, it's just harder and harder. It was really hard for me the few days where I did actually help my husband with the dishes once he had started work, because my back would just hurt so much. My lower back would hurt so much when I would do it. So I am thankful that we now have his mother's help. She's living with us in the home as we wait for the baby to be born. And here is the finished job. Moving on, because my husband Samuel comes back from work really late, a lot of the times I'm already in bed. He comes back. It takes him over an hour actually to reach the house using public transportation when he finishes work. So what I try to do to help him out is just to have his plate ready, his plate of food ready for him, so that he can at least have something to eat once he's back before coming to bed. On this day, I decided to boil a plantain banana for him, and as you're going to see, that's going to be combined with some meat. I believe it was a pork chop, as well as a vegetable dish, a Congolese vegetable dish, which we call pondu. I also took the time to take out some food from the freezer. This was a beef stew that I had cooked on a previous day, and I had divided into portions. So I just took it out and put it in the sink so that it could thaw for us to eat the next day. Yeah, in this scene, you're basically seeing me making up my husband's plate and just putting it back in the fridge while I wait for the plantain banana to be cooked. And it is cooked, so now I'm just pouring out the hot water. It was really hot in that kitchen, so excuse my face, which was like really glistening because of sweat. Okay, I take out the plate from the fridge and I add the plantain to the plate. And this is what Samuel ate on this day. Moving on to one of my last activities before going to bed, I'm just doing some stretching here. It is challenging, but I am trying to stay active during these last few weeks of pregnancy that I have left. Some days I succeed more than others. Here I'm just rotating my torso using a yoga block, and then here I'm kind of just stretching my hips and stretching my upper body using an exercise ball. The stretching session that you see here was much longer than what it appears to be. And after doing that, I just hop in the shower to freshen up very, very quickly before going to bed. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.